Hello, my babies, and welcome to Run It Up Reno 9, live from the Peppermill Resort and Casino in Reno, Nevada. It's exactly what it says. Today we are bringing you live coverage of the Moneymaker Tour Part 2, the U.S. kickoff event. I am Joe Stapleton. He is Nathan Manuel.
That's true. Defending Moneymaker champion here in Reno.
No longer defending. However, he's in the booth with me. It's the $175 Moneymaker Tour. Every single one of these stops, same buy-in. $175, $30,000 Platinum Pass added to the prize pool. Other than that, normal poker tournament.
Yeah,
no limit Texas Hold'em.
Let's talk about what a Platinum Pass is real quickly.
Big blind ante. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
8-handed, 20-minute levels. 30-minute levels after level 20, which is
now.
Right around now. 428 entrants total. That's including re-entries. 2 of those were mine. 310 unique players. Prize pool of over $60,000. 68 total players got paid in this event. Now, as you know, there is a lengthy dynamic delay. So we're going to be joining the action. 16-handed, I believe. There are your top 9 payouts. Second place gets that big $10,000 cash. First place, just the tiny little Platinum Pass worth $30,000. Nathan, what exactly does Plat Pass mean? Yeah,
so it's a great opportunity to go to Barcelona. It's a package that includes travel and entry into a $25,000 Pokerstars Players Championship event. The first one of which was in the Bahamas this year, and the next one's going to be in Barcelona here in August of 2020.
That is correct. Cards are in the air as we pick things up. 16-handed, 15 players to go before one of the first U.S. Platinum Passes will be awarded. We do have a couple of community members that you may know.
You can just scoot those white chips back toward the rail.
Here at our feature table, bet on Drew from Thirst Lounge. First to speak here from the hijack, Queen Jack offsuit. Tim Duckworth, you may recognize. On the button with King Queen.
Yeah, I think this event is right in the classic kind of Run It Up Rio buy-in range too, $175. So we're very likely to see a lot of faces that are familiar to the 680 people.
Wow.
Like but I ended up playing 6 or 7 of those Moneymaker events total all across the U.S.
Did you keep playing them after you won one?
No, of course not.
Okay.
No, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Come on now. But I would say in general, the fields were those sizes, and so you're really trying to like churn through the players.
Well, they churned through me twice today.
Same.
Nathan, by the way, did cash in this event, although he cannot win it. He went out in 50th place. Congrats.
Thank you. I'll take them in cash. Break-even days. You know, breaking even in poker feels really good.
I wouldn't know. Top pair for Drew.
Call.
And it goes bet call on this flop.
Check.
Vincent does have a second pair. This is a pretty bad spot for him to be in.
45,000.
This is a bona fide small blind, big blind cooler. Top pair, second pair.
Yeah, I suspect Vincent is betting for value here. However, in position, this should shut it down. When Drew finds the call here, if Drew checks this river, I suspect Vincent's going to check behind quite a lot, and this board specifically, and it does quickly go check.
No violence on the river.
Vincent knows what's up there. You know, like it's pretty clear.
When is Moneymaker Tour event? And Drew with ace-5 offsuit. Raises.
Fold. Call.
If it's a raise to 30,000, that must mean the big blind is not 30,000.
2 players.
Another pocket deuces, and Drew manages to catch. Top pair on the flop.
I couldn't tell you I folded this. It's not nice.
I want you to tell me.
Ahead.
I want you to tell me. Remember, like the queen of the aces, and he said I had a queen. I was like, that's good. I want to know.
He was in the hand.
No, I'd rather know.
Yeah.
Nick's led at the 4 of hearts on the turn.
Right, poker, but you make him. He will get mad.
The guy
more
that's
than you get
behind.
happy.
Yeah, I agree with
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, Drew being in position here is going to make it an easy call.
But if you look at me and give me one of like,
Gives your opponent an opportunity to bet again.
I got it.
Listen, if I do
Like
this,
35,000.
and if I do this,
Call.
And Nick attempts to
oh, dude,
Pair,
Bluff
aces,
this one.
aces, 2 pairs, aces and 8.
for 35,000, leaving himself only 35,000 behind. I like it. It's unorthodox.
Go.
pretty fun game.
Call.
Yeah.
10K, 15K, 15K big blind ante.
That's the one.
So with the 2 big
Raise
blinds,
30,000.
It's a bizarre level. 10-15.
it is.
You don't see a lot of 10-15.
Yeah, it's because they
much
colored
you-
up the smaller chips.
Yeah.
That was smaller incremental chips.
Something like that.
Drew with ace 8, one of the bigger stacks at the table. Makes it 30,000.
Tim does have a decision here. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to do in the cutoff here with the ace 5 off. Yeah, I like it.
Fold. Fold.
I don't know that I like that though. What was that? 8-4 off? Okay, maybe. The 2 big blinds, you got to be going with a lot of hands there.
Jova Surreal in from the small blind, queen 9 suited. Jennifer getting some pretty sweet pot odds. Does not have a ton of chips. Just 5K more though with that small blind,
players.
big blind.
Correctly flicks it in and is rewarded instantly.
Check.
Top pair for Jennifer.
What's your name?
Vincent.
Vincent? Nice to meet you.
And she is all in, understandably.
Took me to stick with them.
And I think she's going to be perfectly fine to get no action here.
Growth appliance from getting braces.
Oh, I see. Like my niece. Good luck with that.
So Jennifer up. Have a fake person at all, right?
Yeah.
So just the same question I'd ask anyone. But then more questions like,
35,000.
why me? Are they a fan? Did they Google average looking people and I came up? Why not, if you're going to lie, be someone hotter?
Do you think that maybe Keith looks a little bit like you, and so Keith is like, "Oh, this is
Another
like a
great question.
picture of somebody
Maybe
who could
it's just
look
a
like
really
me."
high quality photo of a guy that looks a lot like him. We are flipping back to the action here. Queen 8 of diamonds racing against pocket 5s.
Yeah. Thank you.
To pick up the diamond draw.
King 7, 7, 6. 5s make a full house.
Go.
7,
Drew does
4,
not
5.
catch a diamond. He does not catch a queen or an 8. He's going to double Nick up.
$10,000 for second is
10,000
like
up top. So not only do you have the pass, not up top, but the top cash prize. Not only do you have the platinum pass added, but you got great value by having all these people show up to play a 175.
Yeah, if you're playing a 175 daily at your local casino, yeah, you're talking about the 9th place prize as your 1st place prize.
Yeah, exactly.
And then decide to just play the event. But, you know, if I get
Drew
down
not
there,
even having to open up his ranges here with the stack. He just is getting hands.
Prioritize playing
Yeah.
lower, yeah. How much more to me?
It's 30 total. You just want to use the ratchet. That'll work too.
And it looks like
Oh, I'm sorry, I can push.
we're going to a flop. 2 of the bigger stacks at this table. You don't feel the need to get it in pre-flop with those stack sizes. Top pair for Drew. And it
That's
goes
good.
check, check, yeah.
Bet 50,000.
And he is going to induce a bet from Naef.
Who I think thinks his hand is good right now.
Call.
Drew calls.
I would not be surprised to see him bet again. He bets the same sizing.
This is going to feel... Okay, so Drew's going to raise.
He knows where he is.
I said this is going to feel like a slow roll, but I was not expecting him to raise. I thought it was going to be a...
Wow. Naif counting on chips here.
It's kind of a weird spot for a bluff raise. It's not like a ton of draws missed that you're supposed to have on that flop.
Yeah, I'd love to see him fold here.
And I think sometimes you can level yourself into thinking that, okay, this is just a pure airball bluff. But does Drew have a ton of airball bluffs here? Not a ton. It just feels like it, like we were talking about before, that you know you're beat here. You just don't want to believe it, that the one scenario that he's flopped top pair and checked it.
Yeah, and 6-9 being the nuts, right? And in theory, he blocks that by having the 2 9s in his hand. Well, he does block that by having the 2 9s in his hand. Yeah, he can definitely outthink himself here. But Drew, knowing where he is in the hand so solidly that he can, with one pair, raise it up on the river is a great understanding of where he is in the hand.
By the way, this has nothing to do with getting a read. They just like each other.
Decide whether I answer or not.
Oh, you first say everything. You don't have to. That's a tough one.
Not that tough when you can see the hole cards.
King Jack.
Level 5 on your structure sheet when you complete this hand. Level 5. For limit flop and draw games, that's 200, 400 playing 4 days.
Field is down to 11.
180, 100 and 4 to complete playing 4 days. For no limit hobo, 25, 81 and 2 for PLO.
When you have Drew opening up under the gun here too, right? He could have many sets. He's not likely to have like 2 pair, but he can have all of the pairs between 8s and kings. He has all the kings in his range, even though this board looks more like a board that would hit a big blind.
You're gonna show me your hand?
It's just such a great raise
Sorry, guys,
because
legal question.
it's it's such a thin raise that it's hard to believe that he has a value hand.
That's right.
You know, although there are sets he can have, there isn't a whole lot that he should be raising here, including sometimes king queen.
Yeah, that's a nice fold, and it's a nice raise. I think all around.
Does he show the queen?
He did show the queen, which gives away his hand a little bit. He either has queens or he has king queen.
Yeah. Just 11 big blinds to start the hand.
Yeah.
Cool.
10 tray, I guess you can't jam, but especially with the tight image.
2 players.
Drew's going to take the free flop. Scott Naif dominated. That flop is queen 9-6 up and down for Drew. Jack high for Naif.
These two back at it. Does go check, check.
Check.
And then, you know, boom, right there. Just get there immediately.
20,000.
Must be nice.
Drew is running well and playing well. The, you know, infinitely.
And really, you only need one of those
combo.
2 things. So playing well is overkill.
Yeah, it's just really too much.
Nice answer. Thanks.
So you had Jovis limp under the gun with pocket 6s. A couple of new faces at this table, including Andrew Owen filling things in. I assume that the reason we've lost the count of who is left is that this may be the final 9 sitting here now.
It does look like this is the final table. This is the arrangement of the final table.
Raise?
Raise 75,000. Fold. Fold.
Another new face there in the
Fold.
9 seat. Sean Daniels. These kids with their crazy hair, we got green, pink, and blue. What's next? Orange? Final table, 1 through 9. There they are in seat order. Biggest stack, Tim Duckworth with just over 600,000.
1K Savvy.
Owen Starr. No, Drew Gonzalez with 800,000. That one snuck by me. A couple other folks.
Just random people.
All right, one of these 9 players will win a Platinum Pass, will be playing in the Pokerstars Players Championship 2020.
And we travel a lot. We're doing a travel show right now, too. Raise?
Re-raise. 150,000.
You heard it. Drew's 3-betting the open from Owen Starr. Naif folds queen 10 suited. Sean's out with ace-4. Jovis is going to ditch the 7 high. This should be pretty interesting if both players miss this board. We got to get to the flop first, though. Owen's still deciding what to do with his king-queen suited. Folds it. So I guess the scenario I was talking about, if both players missed the flop, just happened pre-flop. I think I just coined something, you guys. Much like I coined the phrase, all it takes is a chip and a chair back in 2014. Andrew Karkenny, king 10 of spades. Raised from fairly early. Action on Drew. Pocket 5s.
45?
Call. Fold, fold.
And things do change a little bit now that we are no longer short-handed. We're playing at a full 9-handed table. It's a different dynamic than before when we were 5- and 6-handed.
Yeah, you'll see a little bit of tightening up from those earlier positions, but you'll also see the short stacks get to survive a little bit longer, right? Because they're not paying the blinds, and the ante being in the big blind, right? They're not paying it quite as often since you're not putting chips in every hand. So
Bet 50,000.
Andrew's continuation betting. That's jack high flop. Drew has got all the chips.
Call.
And correctly decides to take one off. And that is an undercard to the 5s. There's not a lot you can hope for with 5s there, but for it to not be another big card your opponent's likely to be c-betting with is all you can really ask for.
yeah, and we picked up equity here. Andrew, who is known in the run-up community as Slippin' Jimmy, may continue here.
Yeah, probably not. Not much reason to go there for this trip.
And Drew's decided to take over the betting lead, protect his equity.
Yeah, it's nice and off the strip and kind of add everything.
Tough to get a better hand to fold, but you can certainly fold out a lot of hands similar to King 10 suited that will have a decent chance of catching up with you on the river.
And there we go.
Andrew jams.
The check raise with the 2 overs or a 1 over and the flush draw. 40%. I think Drew's going to fold the vast majority of the time here pretty quickly.
You just can't. Here's the problem. You can't go broke here with 5s.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I call, and then the guy's jack 8. And you're like, oh, I'm so stupid.
I mean, what hand do you like that he ever turns over there? Even if you know he has the King 10 suited,
you don't like it.
You don't love it.
You don't, as Spraggy says, you don't enjoy seeing it a lot longer, at least than the $700 I won in bounties yesterday, which I definitely spent today in massages. The friendships will last longer. Ace-King suited for your boy, Slippin' Jimmy. Drew with pocket 8s. If you're Drew at this point, are you like, hey, you know what? I'm good on hands. Just give me like a couple of jack 4s.
Yeah, give me
and
some of those things I could just know I can
Yeah,
fold.
just give me a second here, please.
Fold.
So at this stack depth, he does just decide to flat. I mean, so yeah, Slippin' Jimmy has plenty of chips behind, so he can just find the flat call here, play in position.
These are very likely to be the 2 biggest stacks at the table.
Yeah.
With 2 sizable pre-flop hands. Those 8s not loving this board, which has resulted in top pair for Andrew.
And this is an easy continuation bet. Betting 1/3 pot. Find the easy fold.
And that's 2 in a row for Andrew Karkenny. Makes me miss Bennigan's.
Fold.
Thank you, Bob.
Andrew with another quite playable hand on the button. Drew with a decision, King 7.
I think King 7 is going to be defended.
You have to, right?
Yeah,
I hate it. I don't want to do it, but you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And you're pretty happy about it now.
Yeah, you're pretty happy about it. But you have to remember, you have to think about what that button is opening again, right? We were talking about the 5-6 suited and whatever before. maybe you have the 6-7s with 7-8s, whatever. You're in good shape against those kinds of hands.
Good shape against most hands.
Bet 40,000.
Some backdoor flush equity as well here.
Yeah, Andrew not drawn dead by any means.
The gutter, the aces. That is not a spicy turn.
That is a brick.
Check. Check.
Check, check. Queen on the
There
river.
you go.
Andrew straightenizes. Do you say Broadway or Broadway?
Broadway? Who says Broadway?
We just made Broadway.
You're going to have to explain this one to me. Is this some New Yorker thing I don't know about?
Okay. Would you say Main Street or Main Street?
I would say Main Street.
Main Street. So why do you say Broadway instead of Broadway?
It's an interesting question. But Main Street is 2 words, right?
Yeah, but it's Broadway.
But it is 1 word. At least in New York City, it's 1.
But originally.
Fold. Right. We're up to 1525. Annie's and blinds are up.
Walk by.
And we don't even have a camera on us. So nobody even gets to see the punishment that you're going through.
I want a curtain at least next time. This is insane.
Call.
But I'm just here exposed, no security.
Did you make your basketball shots?
Drew just continues to get the hands over and over and over again.
Yeah. Crazy.
Two players.
Yeah, he sure does. Does he know it's not like this usually? I know that he's
Drew knows.
relatively new to poker. Now he's been playing a lot of poker.
I suspect he knows the deal.
He knows that this is not
I could be wrong,
how
but I
it's supposed
suspect
to, how it
he knows
usually happens.
that this is
Okay.
not what normally happens.
He said it's a bad thing you should leave because he's bad luck.
Yeah, he said you're screwed.
Check.
So it looks like they're just going to try to check, check, check and get to showdown here. And they. Is Andrew considering betting here? He may feel like he cannot win at showdown. Yeah, there we go.
Bow, 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 bow.
I'm very happy clubs do not count.
Many confrontations thus far between Andrew and regular Drew.
Button there, then I would rather.
Well, that's
see
what I
him
thought
call.
you were saying originally.
Yeah, I would rather see him raise.
Raise.
Here we go, though. Drew back at it.
Fold, fold.
Got one hand off.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
He's
it.
recharged.
He got he got that breath of fresh air.
Fold. Fold.
What if there was some kind of computer assistance for poker eventually? Like if you got like 9-4, like 11 hands in a row, that it slowly builds up like a meter. Like in Street Fighter, like a rage meter. And then when it maxes out, you can get aces. But nobody knows where your meter's at because they don't know what your hole cards have been. I think I've done it, guys. I think I just saved poker.
Check.
Let's hear it. No one's clapping. When the stream catches up, there he is. One guy giving me thumbs up. There he is.
2,000.
God, I can't believe we did it tonight, Twitch. We saved poker. We just revolutionized the way poker is going to be played.
Now, why would somebody be asking for you to do an impression of Ronald Reagan? Are you known for doing
I
this?
don't know, Nancy.
Is this a thing that you do?
No,
on
I've literally
stream?
never done that before.
Wow.
I've never done a Ronald Reagan impression.
I like easy fold.
And when you do comedy, you don't do a lot of impressions, do you?
I do
ever?
one impression.
Oh, yeah?
After this hand's over, I'll do my one impression, if
Let's
you
hear it.
remember.
Okay. Drew has a hand. I'm shocked.
Actually, I do two impressions. This one is visual only, so...
Oh, here we go, though. Let's...
All right, Sean. You're getting looked up.
Fold.
Sean has been playing pretty tight. You can see why Drew may not take this decision lightly. Not a snap call for him. I don't think we've seen Sean all in at all.
Yeah.
25 total, 30.
330. 330,000.
Drew does have him covered.
Where have you been, in Alaska?
Yeah, Drew counting out the chips here, just see what it leaves him with. Don't think this is a snap call ever against an opponent that's been playing well with the short stack. And look, when nobody's deep, right? You know, if you're taking away 300K from Drew's stack, that's half a stack.
Plus, nobody wants to bust out a member of the band Dashboard Confessional. Everyone loves that band.
There you go.
Like tech called 90,000.
He says it too. He knows. Again, Drew really does know where he is in these spots. He's just saying he's making a tight fold. He's been playing extremely well today.
Actually, I have another one. Well. That's my impression of a guy whose job it is to count wells.
370,000 announced.
Oh, man.
Well, it just keeps getting better and better for Drew Gonzalez. Bet on Drew.
I mean, I thought it's 10,000.
Good hand meter going crazy.
The good hand meter. The good hand meter should just stay on going crazy.
But the
right
thing
next
is,
to
I
Drew.
love the idea, but Drew has been running way too hot for his good hand meter to be maxed out right now. Well done.
Both of you.
Well done, people, team. What a, it's not often that they're paying attention. Great job. Pocket Kings against the ace-10 of hearts of Owen Starr. Owen behind. Queen high flop, one heart.
Paint. Let's see the sweat.
Owen is going to need a sweat card on the turn. That's not one of them now. He has to hit one of the three remaining aces or he is out of here. Goodbye, Owen Starr.
Everything's going to be.
You have no idea if you're going to have a career in it or not after the
you're
first time.
And it's somehow, you know, maybe you get another chance to do it again.
Yeah, and well, you have to do it hundreds of thousands of times before you get good at it. Really, I think is the lesson.
Wow.
I mean, look at the size of my right bicep versus my left. I can just tell you that I've got my 10,000 hours.
You're 10,000 hours in. Well, I do love seeing, you know, this spin-off. We have the Survivor spin-off started up. We have the stand-up spin-off happening. We have the karaoke thing happening. There's definitely people coming and enjoying like different parts of the experience of Reno.
I know, and I wish that some of the more famous stand-ups I knew who like poker were a little easier to get. Because I'd like to do for the comedy section what Survivor has done, right? They get real celebrities to show up, and it'd be cool if I could coax someone into coming. I did try to get Norm Macdonald to come.
It was his birthday, right?
It was his birthday. He was in Vegas. 7s, 8s, love him. 9s, 10s, no way.
Maybe 60,000.
He might have today asked for a big wash.
Oh, really?
Might have.
Just maybe? I think it was John Aguiar said like 10 years ago on Twitter. So funny. Not only will a wash change the cards, but it'll also change the horrible ways in which you play them.
I mean, it goes back to the psychology of it. It's all what they think is happening, right?
Right.
It's not actually about what's happening.
I butchered that quote, but it was something along those lines.
Good.
Here's some real hands. And of course, Drew has one of them.
Fold.
Hey, what's up?
Even.
What's that?
Nah, there's a way you just like they can correct it.
Okay.
Just all good.
Raise
Are we supposed to
60,000.
turn these mics off?
Oh, 1 hour break.
I don't think I saw Love to Write One in there modding tonight. Hello there.
1 minute break.
How are you doing, Love to Write One?
Drew Gonzalez, who has had 2.5 hands since his last premium.
How long? 10?
Now with pocket tens.
Fold.
Those mine. Don't worry about your mic.
Fold. All right.
And it looks like it's going to be he and Drew battling it out again. Still two of the biggest stacks. Drew's being the biggest. Andrew with ace-jack misses his king-high flop. Tens good. And Andrew is going to continue.
I think we're going to see Drew call here again. Drew really has been on top of understanding where he is in these hands today. I suspect he's going to find a call here for one street. He's checking to see if he has a diamond there, I suspect. Does flick it in. This is not a call of confidence in my mind, though. When I see somebody flick in chips like that, it doesn't always... If I was Andrew, might lead me to continue again.
Check.
Andrew does not double barrel.
I think having that ace of diamonds blocker as well, I might continue.
60,000.
That way, if there is a diamond on the river, I can always consider firing off again.
Drew very happy to get a fold here.
Absolutely.
I block what I want you to have here.
Yeah. So he's saying, you can't have the diamond draw when I have the diamond in my hand.
If you think about it, I would definitely call him.
Here we go again.
Also.
Drew with another hand.
Raise.
I would. Now I know where they call him bet on Drew. I mean, I would definitely bet on him.
Fold.
Yeah.
Fold.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Queen Jack suited up against King Queen in the big blind.
Look the payoff.
Also, something we haven't discussed much
1100 more
is that with this big a chip disparity, Andrew, in all likelihood, should be waiting for a lot of players to go broke who have 4 and 5 big blinds.
Absolutely. And not raising here seems very much in line with that, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can't fold it. I mean, obviously, you can't not defend King Queen.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go crazy with it when there's at least 2 players who should be all in the next hand or 2.
He pots small. And look, he's probably just going to find a fold here or the c-bet. Even on the paired board, he's just going to probably find a fold here. Yeah.
Later.
Fold.
Drew. That's a raise.
125,000.
Thank you, Chrissy. 125,000.
I'm just like dropping.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
What?
He's just doing it today. It might just be Drew's day.
Yay.
I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face. I'd be like, you guys have no idea how lot I've been running. Oh my God.
Raise. 330,000.
All in.
Fold.
All in.
Re-raise. All in.
Yes. I love it.
Maxwell announces all in. Drew, come on, buddy.
So he did his first tournament live.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not, but also, you're never folding. You never folding.
I don't understand why he didn't call yet.
I'm not wearing a hat, but if Drew folded, I would eat it.
Wow.
That's why his tattoo says bank and not blink. Because if he was using that blink method, the chips would be in the middle already.
Nice Malcolm Gladwell reference.
You should be fist pump getting it in here. Now I know why his name is past tense. His parents wanted to call him Draw, but he was so slow they had to make him Drew.
Yeah.
Worst. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I'm not wearing a hat. I would have to eat it. I would have to eat the hat.
Oh my.
And you know, I can't because of carbs. It would be a major issue for me.
Carbs
Yeah.
is the reason?
My goodness, guys.
Yeah, that
My
is
goodness.
Surprising.
I kind of like this one from Sandwise, and I'm going to use my one non-sexual F-bomb for this hour. Holy fucking knit lounge.
Yeah. 9 months is not almost a year. That's one baby.
Fold.
You have one baby.
So twice in the same week, somebody's pulled this stat out on me when I've made a 9-month baby joke. People are like, actually, it's 10 months.
Yeah.
Please give me easy four.
Drew just hands every time.
You can talk about your hand before you look at it. Perfect. We found the compromise.
All right, so we're going to get a countdown here. We're going to learn that he has 10 big blinds and he has pocket eights, and that Tim is likely to find a call.
I am the god. See what a good. I will be out.
That's my prediction. Let's see what happens in reality.
675.
You know, if I go to Barcelona, I will win 100,000 at least. He's all in and he's calling 1,100 more.
I love this guy. Nah, Yef. More like yes, Yef. There's the call from Duckworth. He is not going to like what he sees. Plus, as we know, eights are the hand statistically most likely to flop a set.
Yes. Is that true? Yeah, but it's not always coming sevens. It's not always coming eights. It's always coming sevens.
Well, it's ace, 9, jack, 2 spades. A spade would be helpful, but no, it's a jack.
It's a very good card for Drew.
Ace would be a challenge.
Drew very, very likely to double up. He does indeed.
Yeah.
Nobody went out, but he doubled up.
And Tim Duckworth is left with crumbs.
I talked about the F99 thing before. Clearly, I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
Oh, yeah, you've been blowing it.
Yeah, I've just been...
You've been going for a set when you should be going for quads.
Yeah, gosh.
220.
Crossfart says, you may not like it, but this is what peak performance looked like. Thank you. Thank you, Crossfart. I do feel at the top of my game right now.
You got it.
You're doing the naive.
I have 9. I hit the set. On the turn, he makes straight. Quads.
Life is not fair for me, says that he's really enjoying the commentary. Thank you. Thanks for being with us. We're going to pair and an open-ended straight draw for Drew. 4 high for Max. 4 high in a situation where Drew's going to have a piece of this board pretty regularly.
A check.
There's the check.
Check.
Drew checks behind.
We saw him do this earlier and get paid off. He got a lot of additional value out of it.
I can win this.
May not get additional value from a hand this bad, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Check. Check.
Check, check.
They're just going to get to showdown,
I
it looks
didn't
like.
want to win it, but now...
2 pair now for Drew, but does put the 4 cards straight on board.
Back.
Wow.
140.
Activated.
So in this exact scenario earlier, we saw that Drew raised the river with that
I will
shocking
not talk. I
pair
put
of
the
kings
ziplock
raised,
on my
right?
mouth.
So now he has a position where there's 4 to a straight.
You'll be happy.
But is he going to find the raise here? I suspect he'll find a
I
call.
would be.
Good call.
Call.
She said interesting.
Yeah, no, you win.
What happened here?
You win. I'm playing worse than the board.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to see if Drew found the raise there. He found a raise earlier with 1 pair with top pair, right? In that a very similar situation.
But much different board texture.
Much different board
It's really
texture.
hard to raise 2 pair.
Especially on 4 to a
Yeah.
straight. So that'd be interesting if he somehow...
I would, look, Drew's impressed me / surprised me already. So I would be less surprised for him to surprise me a second time. But I would still be sort of surprised. Just not so surprised that I'm surprised.
See, even when I'm right.
If you follow.
I understood.
We are now heads up.
Yeah.
Heads up for the Platinum Pass, $10,000 to whoever finishes second. $30,000 Platinum Pass.
And I believe it's 2.4 to 2.6 million.
Oh, so close.
So pretty even.
It's really good for the Thursday Thrill is a bounty tournament too, right?
It is.
Is it 500?
500.
So sick. Maybe one day I can play a 1K.
You know, you hear these stories about people like when they're early on in their kind of poker careers, they run really well or they do well, and that kind of like hooks them, and then they kind of stay. So I played cash games for a long time, but I didn't play any tournament poker. And then Jimmy worked for me, and we would sit around and talk about, let's talk about this hand.
What an action-killing ace here.
Yeah. This is going to see a lot of checks here, I think, a lot of the time. Drew's considering it, though. That's fine, I bet.
That's a pink 100K chip. I'm so glad I was right about that. I was guessing. I was totally guessing.
Call.
Five of diamonds on the turn.
I would have been surprised to see this go check now.
You would be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You would not be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, it depends how far Drew wants to go down this path. Wow.
He's going 3 more pinks down this path.
Well, this leads to a lot of river bets, which are a lot more than 3 pinks, if it gets called.
I just don't know how you can follow this up with a river bet when you get called for the second time.
Well,
you don't.
There you go.
Double barrels, the queen high gets kings to fold. Everything is coming up Drew.
Everything is coming up Drew. Got distracted by the hand.
What's up, Andy Milanakis? You're my inspiration. What? Oh, thank you very much. You too, man.
Andy Milanakis giving...
I forgot he was at the final table with me. He was the second most famous person at the final table.
Yes.
Jimmy Capucci, then Andy Milanakis, then me.
Yeah. The only place that Jimmy Capucci is famous in this, 1,000 square feet here.
Call.
Yeah, this is going to be an all-in and a call. Drew shoves the king 4 over the open of the pocket 10s of Maxwell Young.
I had kings last hand, by the way.
If a king spikes, this could be Minwell Young. This could be it. It could be all over. If Drew can continue his sun running. Makes sense for a guy who spends a lot of time in the Virgin Islands.
Would not be surprised to see him win this somehow.
Will the heater continue? If not, Maxwell is going to double up. King high flop.
King in the window.
It is all but over. Only a 10% chance Maxwell catches up. You see him resign to his fate. Luckily, that fate at worst is $10,000. 3 spades on board. Spades not a factor. Maxwell needs to hit 1 of 2 10s. Otherwise, this is over. River. It is a 10.
Wow.
Holy my goodness. It's a 10 and it's a spade. The spade doesn't matter. Set of 10s.
So Drew choosing to go with the call instead of the raise here. It'll be interesting what Maxwell decides to do. He can raise here. Does he just jam? He does just jam it in. So Drew just called on the button, and then Maxwell decides to just jam it all in with the king 10 suited.
All in.
Seems
Drew's
reasonable.
all in.
Call.
Both these hands seem quite reasonable to go the way they've gone. Quite the rail developing. Sweating this 20K money jump.
There's the man.
Chris Moneymaker. The John Connor of poker. And by that I mean hasn't been relevant since the mid-2000s. Ace high flop. Looking good for a Drew Gonzalez double up. But however, we have seen Maxwell catch miracles.
If you're going to do it, not to the river.
Paint,
What a weird way to ask for that.
There we go.
There it is. Drew needs to hit a club to stay alive and gets there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. It was almost over. And now Drew and Max flip-flop. Thirst Lounge on the rail. Look at all of them pretending to be excited for Drew. These guys in Thirst Lounge genuinely seem to be pretty pumped for their team.
To be very excited, very excited. And this is their first time here, I believe. I don't think there's... Well, no, there was actually... They did a...
Last run it up, there was... is where... Chip counts, just so you guys are clear. Almost a 2-1 chip lead for Drew now. That's when Thirst Lounge was sort of born. Bill and I actually had a conversation here at the Cafe Milano
about his
plans, and I encouraged him to do it. And I was pretty excited to be a part of it for a while, and then I realized that with my schedule, it wasn't really going to work, and he came up with this whole competition thing.
All in. Call?
Yeah.
All right, so Drew, once again, slightly behind, but with a reasonable shot of putting this to bed. Ace-Jack the favorite. If it is not put to bed, they will just flip-flop chip positions again.
Do it again.
Max is going to need ace-high to hold. Moneymaker on standby to hand over the trophy and the platinum pass should this go Drew's way. Ace, 8, 9. So top pair for Max, bottom pair for Drew. No clubs. The turn is another 8. I feel like this is it. Max drawing very thin, just 2 aces left in the deck. He had a 2-outer before. Can he do it again? He cannot.
Wow.
Drew Gonzalez, bet on him.
Yes. Lots on him.
That right there is your platinum pass winner. Drew Gonzalez and Thirst Lounge have made it to PSPC 2020.
And Max walking away with $10,200. Really great return on the $150 investment.
And I guess Drew's just locked up a spot in the Thirst Lounge for at least the next 10 months or so.
Wow. Think of the EV of that.
Can't imagine we wouldn't be following his journey from here to Barcelona.
Big congrats.
Going to play a $25K event for $175.